Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come into the J Spot. We're placing your G Spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the J Spot on Intellectual Radio. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo!
Right. It's enough. It's enough.
You have entered the J Spot where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have our honorary co host
You
on
know it.
tonight, NIU Drumline member, CEO of Delaware Inc. Coming what?
Coming soon.
Aspiring actor and model, Mr. Amir Dale. How you doing, Amir? I done
How you
gave you
doing,
full
Miss
government.
J?
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
you sure
I'm
did.
so sorry. That's what
That's
I used on
fine.
his birth certificate, but that's okay. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Good. Guys, E will be here the second half of the show, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio, and J is spelled Jaye for all three. Wow, it is almost
Oh,
August.
yeah.
Oh my God. Like, guys, listen, it's like, it seems like it was just yesterday that we were in March.
Why does it feel like that to you? It feels like forever. We've been on lockdown for about 3 months.
I know, but that's why it seems like it's since yesterday. That's why it seems like it was just
Well, you
March.
feel that way, but I'm ready to get this year over with now. It's over with. This year's
Yeah,
done.
guys. I mean, it's like we were making big decisions as far as, wow, do we send the kids back to school after spring break? And now here it is. We're embarking on a whole new school year. And it's like, wow, we're still about to have that same conversation yet again. Are we sending the kids back to school? Guys, what are your thoughts? Are you guys sending your kids back to school, especially the little grammar school kids? Are you guys sending those kids back to school? Are you guys thinking about getting the vaccine, the COVID vaccination? What are your thoughts on that? What are you doing, Amir, as far as going back to school? Have you decided to go back to school? What are you doing?
I want to go back so bad. Lord knows I want to because I still want to be a part of the band still, and plus I have a scholarship riding on this. But you know what? I told my band director last week. I'm gonna have to see y'all next year, like for real, like because I live very far. I live like an hour away from my school, and I just don't feel comfortable, coming and going down that back and forth and just wasting money. I just don't feel like doing this. So I'm just gonna ride this semester out and the spring semester, and I'll just see everybody in the fall.
And you know what? And you definitely have to, because guys, here's the thing. It's so much going on with this COVID, guys, that you definitely have to be mindful. Okay, even on a college level, I know that they are definitely taking putting their best foot forward to ensure that the students are safe. But let me tell you something. It's a bunch of crap, in my opinion. Here's the deal. This is all about money. All these businesses opening back up, it's not because it's safe. Listen, COVID, the numbers are rising higher yet again. The media is not making as big of a fuss as they were back in March because, again, they don't want to have to go through shutting all the businesses and things of that nature back down. But guys, listen, this thing has not went away. The numbers are still consistently rising, and they are rising at an alarming rate. States that were once not required to have their residents wear masks, they're now requiring them to wear masks. Like we just saw on the news Wisconsin is now made it a law that their residents have to wear masks. It's just like, well, hello, where y'all been the last 5 months? Like, where have you guys been?
In La La Land.
So now those numbers are high. And so it's like now people are scrambling around, like this thing ever went away. It never went
Mm-hmm.
away. The numbers are still rising. Again, guys, please do your best to do what you have to do to keep yourself safe, to keep your family safe, to just make sure you are following the necessary precautions. How you doing, DJ Kenny? Hey, Jamar, how you doing? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Listen, with the sports and things of that nature. Like, okay, I know with the colleges, they're about to have they have the kids, the college students down there, the football team, and they're practicing and things like that. So my question to one of the college officials was, okay, well, how do you play football yet adhere to the guidelines of the 6 feet apart social distancing? You cannot do it. Like, how do you do that? How are you playing football yet you're following the law and the rules of 6 feet apart social distancing? How are you going to do that? How are you going to play basketball
Impossible.
and follow the 6 feet apart? Are they going to have the players wearing masks, running up and down the field, running up and down the basketball court? How is that going to
I
work?
hope they don't.
I mean,
Hey,
I realize that a lot of money is on the table. A lot of money is just out there, guys. But you definitely, come on, if they're not, the government, listen, you cannot expect them to put your best interests first. You have to take care of yourselves and make sure you're doing what you have to do to keep yourself and your family safe. Now, guys, with that being said, tonight I want to start off with a little housekeeping. And when I say housekeeping, this is for us family folks, especially us black folks. Listen, I'm going to specifically talk to us because it's a lot of stuff going on with us as black folks as a family, with all this violence and all this crime that is going on. You guys, we have got to do better. Parents, we got to do better as far as monitoring what our kids are getting involved with, who they are involved with, and what they have going on in their life. If you're under 18, you don't have a personal life, in my opinion. If you're still living in my house, you don't have a personal life. Therefore, your social media is up for monitoring. Your phone, your book bag, everything is up for monitoring, in my opinion. Guys, these kids are getting shot down at young ages. And let me tell you, it's so disheartening to hear this stuff. But guys, let me tell you, I'm seeing this stuff firsthand. And I know you're not going to want to hear the next statement I'm about to say, but I'm about to say it because it's real. Some of these kids are not innocent, y'all. That's why I'm urging you to please get involved in your kids' life. Check their social media, see what they're doing, see who they're talking to, see what they're talking about. Guys, your kids are living lives that you have no idea about. They are planning all these malicious acts, and then they get caught up, and then they have everyone thinking that they're innocent, yet they're in cahoots with a whole bunch of crimes and things of that nature, and then they're getting caught up. And it's just it's spreading, guys. So please, 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 definitely make sure you are checking your children's social media, checking their Snapchats. If you don't know how to check it, listen, ask them. Stop letting these kids intimidate you and making you feel bad because you want to go into their stuff. They're not paying it. Listen, when you grown, you got your own. That's what they told me. When we were growing up, let a door be closed in that house. When we came home from school, we did not have a door on the room, okay? Because that's just how deep and how serious it was. But guess what? My mom and them, they knew everything that was going on. The reason why I'm saying this, guys, is because I was in the restaurant a couple of days ago. And it was just so disheartening. There was a young girl in there. She was about 12, 13 years old. First of all, I was wondering who bought her outfit because the little get up that she had on. I said, I wish my mama would have. You going over there to fight, somebody else may be over there waiting to shoot. Then you in because I'm tired of seeing these babies getting shot down because the parents are not involved in what's going on. You have what kind of mess your kids are getting into. Check their phones. Find out who they talking to. Get involved. Stop being involved in your own life and worry about what your kids got going on because these kids are getting in things that are costing them their lives. It's not like you can live to fight another day and all this and that. People are not doing that anymore. It's like this thing has escalated. It's like it's so crazy. What do you think about that?
It's sad. I believe that people they don't have that type of person to like talk to in their life, so it's like they feel like they can go out and do whatever because they got a phone or whatever, and just get into type of any type of trouble. But I feel like social media is definitely like playing a big part in all of this.
And parents, it's just like we as parents, aunties and uncles, listen, you know that if you are related to some of these people that's doing these crimes and you got these, because listen, we all got some questionable people that we related to. You got to check that. You got to put that stuff, you have to nip that stuff in the bud. But your babies, those little young men and those little young women, those are the ones you need to snatch up and figure out what's going on. They should not be, especially, I don't care if it is the summertime. You are not about to sit in there and be on your phone or on the internet all doggone day and don't do anything because you're on the internet. You're doing something. You just not on there just to be on there. What are you into? What's consuming your day from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep? What are you doing? Because if you're not doing something productive on there, you need to be doing something. Now, when I was growing up, find out. But if you never do any of that, you may never know what your child is involved with until it's too late. Then you're like, my mama, what I would not ask this whole room tore up. The reason why I got stretch mark back, I'm this one right here. Hey Tasha, how you doing? Good evening to you as well, hon. But again, please, guys, I'm urging you to get involved with your kids. Find out what your young teenagers are doing, your preteens. What are they? The other day, I seen two little boys fighting a homeless man. I don't know if he was homeless or not, but I'm like, see, this the mess right here. That
Mm.
again, now had this man came back or whatever, now everybody want to cry. Oh, he was only 12. He was only 12. Why are you letting him hit an adult? Who told him it was okay to do that? They're learning it from somewhere. So you have to watch what you're putting out to your kids. And again, just watch what they doing because these jokers right here, woo! These, that's all I can say is woo, things that make you go, I couldn't even imagine having any more kids in this day and age. I'm like, it's
Mm.
so much going on with them, all the stuff that they're being exposed to online, on TV, telling them all getting involved with on their own just because they're kids and kids are gonna be curious. But you as a parent, you gotta be right there to redirect that traffic, redirect that energy. If they got too much time on their hands, guess what? They're going to be in some mess. You better believe it. If they have nothing to do and they know ain't nobody watching and looking, don't be surprised if you start getting some knocks at the door or getting some phone calls. Listen, you got, okay, because I done told Chucky. So Chucky is where he wants to be afraid to go in a room, look through their stuff. I don't even know why I'm saying their stuff. I'm saying their stuff so that you can feel better. But if you ain't bought nothing, it ain't yours. It's mine. So I'm going in my room that I let you stay in, and I'm gonna go in the stuff that I bought that I'm letting you use. So that's how that works. But I'm just saying their stuff. just for some of y'all parents clarification, because again, some parents don't feel comfortable with, oh no, I don't want to invade their privacy, and this, you ain't got no privacy. Only privacy you have is the conversation that you have between you and God. Outside of that, there's
Real.
no privacy. I don't believe in privacy. Ask this man here how many times he done had his room door closed.
None.
Never. I don't believe in closed doors in no house. The only room that's closed in the house, and that's for a temporary period of time, that's the bathroom door. Outside of that, every door will come off because I need to know what's going on at all times in the house. And parents, that is definitely a good rule to adapt, because if they're on the phone, you may not necessarily be listening, but it's something in the conversation that will come up that you may be like, okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to follow back. Let me run that conversation back. Sometimes it's some things that you need to run back. But again, definitely find out what your kids are getting involved with, because you want to get comfortable with that. You want to start doing that on a regular basis. Engage with your kids. Do things with them. I don't care how old they are. Do things with them so that they can know, be there with them, support them, discipline them. Parent, not be a friend, but parent. I can't be a friend to nobody. We're not friends. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You the reason why I'm still scorned. Can't be what your kids are doing. Monitor their social media activity, monitor their phone activity, because it just might save their life. Guys, we're gonna take a short musical break. And guys, I got so much to talk about. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families,
Mm-hmm.
one conversation.
She my body, I'm a glide and always down to ride. Oh, yeah. Let's not get it twisted. Gotta be a freak. A woman in the street. Gotta throw up in the bedroom. Ain't no limitation. We do it grown folks. You know how to climb on top in bikinis. Push it bad and bougie. Gotta compliment my style. That's how I do it. How much you love her? It's gotta be something. How much you love her? I'm very picky when it comes to my life. But when I choose her, I'ma spoil her for life. Said it's not up to choosing love. Now I can stand the jealous side. Cause I don't do the drama. Oh, no. I'm a choosing. I'd rather make love to relieve that energy. Oh yeah, she gotta know exactly what love means. And when I show affection, she receives. I'm a choosy lover. Cause yeah, I got a lot to give, but I'm too grown to play the game. I don't need that's my type of sugar. She sounds in bikinis, push it back and she got compliment my style, that's how I do it. I'm a choosy lover. It's gotta be something about her that I like. How much you love her. I feel something special when I stare in her eyes. How much you love her. I'm very picky when it comes to my life. But when I choose her, I'ma spoil her for life. Say it's not to choosing love. Are you the one that I've been searching for? The type of girl I visioned in my dreams. In my dreams, babe. Are you the one that makes me happy? So happy, yeah. The one that makes my life feel good. And can you be the one that's always in my fantasy? Baby, can you? Oh yeah, that's why I'm good. Oh yeah, now that's my type. She's saucy in bikinis, plus she bad and bougie. Compliment my style, that's how I do it. I'm a truly lover. It's gotta be something about her that I like. I'm a truly lover. I feel something special when I stare in her eyes. I'm a truly lover. I'm very.
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay, and sitting next to me, we have our honorary co. Separate from your parents and you cleave to your wife and you cleave to your husband. So you cleave to your spouse. And here's the thing that right there, that tears up a lot of that's my son. I brought him in this world. Yes. Yes, you did, mother. But here's the thing. You can't do that thing that he liked. You can't do that. So since you can't do that and his wife can, you gotta fall back. I don't want to talk
I
about
believe I saw a video. I think it was on Instagram or Facebook, and it was this guy. He was in the car. His mom
I
was in the
wanted to talk
front
about that,
seat,
yes.
and then the girl,
His
his
wife, she was
wife,
supposed to be the wife.
she was doing the most or whatever. Then she had the other friend with her, and then I guess they talked about it or whatever for a minute or quite some time, and then the his wife was like, "So ain't you gonna move from out the front seat?" Then the mother was like, and then I'm like, well, you can see where this is gonna go. So I'm like,
Absolutely. And that
yikes.
was a difficult, I mean, as
But
I watched that video,
she was kind of being disrespectful though. Like I don't take too kind of that. I mean, like you could have like said like in a polite way. That there was a way that could have been avoided. It could have been done differently. But if you disrespecting your husband's mother or whatever, that definitely crossed the line right there. Like that could have been handled differently. But people just like to do the most and like to be heard and stuff. It's just certain stuff that you shouldn't do. So I believe that should have been handled very differently.
on whose behalf? Who should have handled it differently? The mother, the wife, or the son?
No, the actually the husband, because he was in the car, and then he should have pulled the wife to the side and just talked to her.
Which he was trying to
Tell her
do
this,
that.
but she was just out of there, and sometimes it's hard to get your wife, your spouse, or your husband, to calm down because they already there at 100. Sometimes you got to bring them down a little bit, but they just get overboard, and it's just hard. But I believe that thing could have been talked out, instead of like disrespecting the mother.
So, guys, listen, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we're talking about this video that's circulating around social media where the young man, he was in the car and his mother was in the car and his mother was in the front seat and they drove up to pick his wife up. The mother refused to get out the front seat. And so there was a verbal altercation between the mother and the wife. So who's wrong? So who should sit in the front seat of the car? Should it be the wife or should the mother sit in the front seat? Hey Dina, how you doing? Who sits in the front seat? The son comes to pick it. The son and the mother, they're already in the car. They're on their way to pick the wife up. Should the mother get out the front seat and get in the back seat once they arrive to pick the wife up? Or should the wife just slide in the back seat and let's go ahead on and go to nippies or whatever we going to eat and carry on that way? Who should get in the front seat, or does it not matter? In that situation, according to the video, that young, first of all, I think that both of them were messy. The mother was messy because she was one of those control. This my son, and ain't no woman gonna be. And I just pray that I'm not like that, because I don't think I can't see myself, putting you in that type of situation
I
unless
hope
I don't like
not.
the girl. And it seemed like she didn't like, because I didn't like the girl. The wife had a nasty attitude. It's like he just went and he came and he drugged the raggediest, ratchetest chick home. She was a cute little girl. Don't get that's what the guy, that's all he saw in her. But he didn't see all that ratchet behavior, because you should have never brought that. I don't care if the mama was raggedy and she didn't want to move. You don't ever talk to nobody's mama like that. I'm sorry, you just don't talk to nobody's mama like that, especially by that being your elder. And again, that's the thing. We don't have any respect for anybody. We don't have respect. It's just like she felt like, oh well, since she the wife, you can talk to this man's mama however you want to, even though the mama was wrong. But you, as being a younger lady, there's no way that you should have ever been addressing an elder like that. That's just how I feel. Dina, you're saying nope. she should be the bigger woman and slid in the back. But who should go first though? Who should go first? So now listen, if he's just coming up say that there was no confrontation, should the mama have just slid to the back or should the wife just slid to the back? Who, you know what? And I'm trying to think. Okay, if it were me, I probably, because I'm not trying to cause discord in your family, and I know that she's first. I will slide in the back because I know that's your wife. Only time, and again, I can't even say only time because you got to go home with this chick, especially if y'all got kids and the grandkids. Because the minute she do something to the grandkids, then I'm gonna have to put her head through the wall. So to avoid all
Hey,
that, listen, let's just not. Dina, you're saying if it was the other way, my mother should slide in the back. Whoever was there first, no big deal. And you know what? And I kind of feel like that too, but to avoid, like you said, Dina, to avoid all that and to be the bigger person, I'm like, I would have slid in the back. But the confrontation between the mother and the daughter and the mother and the wife, you can already tell that they did not get along because the mother was like, and I'm his mother, and I'm gonna be here. And I'm like, man, first of all, you doing
I
too much.
believe before they pulled up, he should have. Before they even pulled up, he should have told his mom, you know, like, you know, my mama, I gotta, I'm going to get my wife, you know, so I'm gonna need you to go, you know,
Slide to that young back.
slide in the bag. You know, that conversation should have been talked out before you even pulled up. I
But you know
believe.
what? To be honest with you, that shouldn't even be a conversation
Well,
because
yeah,
once you, especially by, and see, that thing to me, that was, I mean, even though I'm a single mother myself, but that's that single mother, I don't need a man type attitude. That's just what that is. So since the mama ain't got no man, because clearly the way she was acting, she didn't have no man the way she was acting, because if she did, she would have never showed her behind like that, because she wouldn't let her mother come and do the same thing that she just did. She would never allow that. So listen, you all support these young folks that are married and that are doing their thing. You support if they got married, even if you don't like it, Lord, please let my son find somebody that I like. Please let him, please. I'm just saying that prayer. But if he decides to marry her, then you know what? Everything I thought and felt, I gotta keep it to myself unless she put him in some dangerous situations. Then I'm gonna have to step in because I'm gonna always be back just watching and lurking and looking around the corner trying to figure out what's going. What you doing? What you trying to get my son involved? So that's gonna be me. But when it comes between mothers and wives, I mean, man, this kind of stuff messes people houses up. You got the son, he got to choose between his mama and his wife. Now, here's the thing. Now, let me talk on this. These mama's boys, listen. Woo, Lord, Lord, Lord,
oh
Lord.
yeah, she did call him a mama's. You know what?
Yes. It
Now
ain't
that,
nothing worse than a mama's boy.
yeah, I
Lord.
would have already filed them divorce papers right there after she said that. I would have already filed them
Why?
because why would you say something like that? He not a mama's boy. I mean, it's just all due respect. I mean, if his mother is sitting up there, like, I just feel like people just make a big deal out of stuff. I don't know.
Right. And
'Cause I feel
I
like
agree with
when
you.
you go too far and you say stuff that you know you shouldn't say, you know that's gonna be offensive. Yeah, I'm already go ahead get them divorce papers, fuck them and file them. You know it is over with.
But
Shouldn't
see,
even said that.
But see, again, he got caught up with that because, again, like I said, she was a pretty little girl. She was pretty, but that's what caused him to look aside her ratchet ways, because that don't seem like that was the first encounter that they had. Well, he's gonna always be with me. Well, he marrying me, and he doing. Listen here, you trollop. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Dina, you say I pray every day, but it's not our liking. Girl, I can go on and on about this. I promise you, I'm just like, Lord, I'm in a good position right now. But if you decided to marry somebody, if he decide, can you promise me you won't marry somebody that I don't like?
Didn't I already promise you
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I
I need you
did.
to say it again so everybody can hear you. So
I know
if
I
they see a video like that circulating around about me, at least y'all will know he broke his promise. That's all I want everybody to be able to witness because the clown is real. You know what? But I
yes,
would not.
look
I
at
would
y'all.
not. I wouldn't do intentionally. I would just hope. Like I say, the only way I can see myself getting involved, and I know I shouldn't, but I listen until I get married. See, I already know my husband gonna be like, you know what? Come on, come on. We going home because this ain't our business. He gonna have to tell me that because if I'm single, and because that's the only way I can see like these mothers are having these type of issues in their sons' lives is because they're single and they ain't got nothing but time on their hands to be over there in their son's business trying to figure out what's going on. So listen, nothing about being single, but you know what? You got to find you some business. Go find yourself. I know we like to, be looking and figuring out what's going on. I'm not saying don't check in and survey the scene because you got to survey the scene and make sure yours is safe, but do it discreetly. You ain't got to be, letting it be known that you looking and, you trying to, you on his wife Facebook page trying to see what she got going on and dudes complimenting her. Listen, see, now you stirring up some stuff that ain't putting his life in jeopardy. So stop you being messy now. You have to look for the bigger things that could possibly put him in danger. That's what you're supposed to be looking for. Dina, you're saying, how do you know if you are a mama's boy or aren't? Are you a mama's boy?
I don't think I am.
You don't think, I
No,
don't think,
I don't
listen,
think I
because he
am.
already told me he was putting me in a home with no window and no fish. So I don't get, or do I still get the fish?
Well, you might upgrade depending on how you are.
You see what I'm saying?
I might upgrade a little
Right.
bit.
So my upgrade is contingent upon how I act. So any given day, listen, I can use it. So I guess today I'm gonna get the room with no window though, but a goldfish. So I'm gonna keep it right there. At least I can say, I'm gonna be I'll have a goldfish. But it was always him and I. So we do have a close relationship, but I don't feel like it's the close. And y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Y'all didn't observe us being together. Do he seem like he's a mama's boy? You say you don't think you're a mama's boy. Then you saying stop, single or not, it's your son. Shaking my head. I see it. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's like some women, they put their sons in position to take the role of their man or he's the man of the house. I never told my son he was the man of the house because he's not the man of the house. He's not the man of I'm single. So, it's me and all my personalities. We're the ones that run the house. Like now that he's grown and he's in college and everything, we coexist and we have a peaceful, an understanding. But I've never raised him to think that he's the man of the house. However, just watching the man in him, he's a man. So of course, men are gonna do certain things. Just don't, get it twisted and think that, like I said earlier, we're not friends. You the reason why I got stretch marks, so we'll never be friends. We'll never be on that level. But mothers, you have to let your sons grow up. You gotta let them find their ooh. And as I say this, I'm saying it to myself. You have to let him run their own. They have to run their own lives and things of that nature. Dina said he's a mama's boy. Miss Dina called you a mama's boy. He done put his head down, Miss Dina. He probably gonna be done. What you gonna cut you off like he cut me off? But again, guys, you have to let these men, especially once they get married, you should not put your son in a position where he has to choose between you and his wife. Even if you don't like his wife, the moment he make her his wife, man, that's it. You have to fall back. You have to respect his decision, even if you don't like it, because I already know if I don't like his decision, I know I'm gonna be sitting somewhere in a chair rocking like Lord, I know.
Yeah,
And
rocking with a doll in your hand.
right, and I'm gonna be talking to myself like, Lord, I told him not to marry this little hussy here, but he done went and married this little chick right here. She gonna cause him all kinds of grief, and I promise you, I'm gonna block his number because he's not gonna be sitting up here calling me talking about some mom. Rock did this. She did that. Because I don't want to hear. Because the moment you get married, I'm like, listen, you have to cleave to that wench. I mean, you have to cleave to your wife that you marry. If I,
Really?
you know, you have to cleave. That's who you have to do. You got to cleave to that. So choose ye this day and choose wisely. So just going forward, just choose wisely. But again, mothers, listen, y'all got to let these sons, we got to let these sons go. We got to let them go. We got to let them make their own paths. But again, you know what? Listen, I'm saying this, but y'all, okay, let me just be real and transparent with y'all. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best. I already know. Again, my husband is going to have to grab me up. There's gonna be a
Hmm.
time where I know he gonna have to grab me up and be like, "Come on, you gotta go." I know, husband. I'm going to it's gonna be like, come on, you need to find you some business. Why you over there in all they business? Come on, handle your business over here. I'm gonna go handle our business over there, but then I'm coming back to your business because I want to make sure they all okay. So it's not just my son.
Think I
Thank
know, but I can ask your mother.
you. You guys
You
listen.
think I
Thank
know, but I can ask your mother.
you. Oh, you gonna ask my
Mhm.
mother?
Yeah.
That's a low blow. You know who raised? See, that's what I'm saying right here. Now I'm a stretch mark starting this
Mhm. Get
thing.
you right there.
Guys, listen, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we're going to get into our next hot topic. You're listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
Felt like we were on the same page. Led me to believe we'd be together someday. FaceTime calling the days you play Prince Charming. Yeah. I'm in too deep, my feelings keep getting stronger. Is it all in my head? Your actions showing me different. Don't expect me to be faithful without commitment. You talk to who you want while my heart's involved. I'm sick of not your one and only. It's really killing me that with you I gotta share. I don't like what you do to me, baby. Why can't you be fair? Me only. We discussed this. Let's just stop wasting each other's time. Let's stop wasting each other's time. You know and I know this don't even feel right. Do you even love me? Your actions not showing me. I don't like what you do to me, baby. Why can't you be fair? Me only. We discussed this. Let's just stop wasting each other's time. Let's stop wasting each other's time. Let's stop wasting each other's time.
Welcome back. Conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay, and sitting next to me, listen, this is one smooth dude right here.
I am, to be honest with you. I really am smooth. Smooth with it. I'm cool with everything.
You know
Yeah.
what? See, and I was trying to just ease you in there, but you know what? Just ease you in there, but you know what? You've never one this one right here, he's never been timid or afraid to have attention. Let me tell y'all something. Or even,
I don't
you
need
know,
attention.
humble. You really not that humble. You're not.
Yeah, I
No, he's
am.
not. Let me tell y'all what this guy used to do. He was in growing up in church in the choir. Lord, I'm telling you, y'all, I promise y'all, he would be up in there with his little choir robe
I want
on,
to hear this.
and he'd have his, now the church had the monitors and everything, and this is just how bad he used to always make me look. He up in there clapping and singing the songs and everything. And why would he, the whatever arm that he had his little watch on, he had nice little watches and stuff, but he would have his robe sleeve rolled all the way up one, but he would have his robe sleeve rolled all the way up, one up and one down, and he makes sure that everybody saw that little funky little watch that he had on his
God,
wrist. And I'm like, you know what?
man.
You're really defeating the purpose of being
I used to see y'all out there gossiping and stuff and talking about me. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, see, that's why I can't do this no more.